Hello friends, my name is Brin and welcome back to my channel. Here on Brin Darcy, I talk about life and study at the Australian National University in Canberra, obviously in Australia, and what your life could be like if you studied here as well. In today's video, I am going to be talking about my experiences studying the Bachelor of International Relations at the ANU, a review if you will. Sorry, I think you just saw my pajama pants. I'm wearing business at the top, cozy casual down the bottom. I don't know if you can see, but these pajama pants have little like terrier dogs and guinea pigs. I don't know, is there a guinea pig on this side somewhere? No. Ooh, guinea pigs and cats and other cute little animals on them, and they're like my favorite pajamas ever. So yes, I will be reviewing the Bachelor of International Relations. First of all, I should say that I would say overall my degree is quite good. Is it exactly what I thought it would be? No, probably not. Would I do it again? No, probably not. But I think that's more of an individual thing than the degree itself. So this video is going to be broken up into different sections. First of all, I am going to be talking about the content of the Bachelor of International Relations. Then I'm going to be talking about the quality of the teachers and the university. And then finally, I'm going to be talking about the job opportunities from a Bachelor of International Relations at the ANU. And then I'm going to give an overall rating at the end that I'm going to have to average out my maths for later and then figure it out because doing maths live is too hard. So yes. Sorry, I have a bit of a tickly throat because I just ate some noodles. Yes, so to start with, I am going to be sharing what I think about the content of the Bachelor of International Relations. So I think that in general, it is very political theory heavy. Now you do get to choose what sort of specialties you do based on a list of courses. You get like a list of course options that you have to do a certain amount of this type of course, this type of course, and this type of course, etc., etc. But you also have the option to do some subjects that are like elective subjects as well. So you definitely have the ability to sort of pick and choose which area of international relations you would like to go into. So for me, I chose to do comparative European politics, so I focused a lot on history, Europe obviously, but people could focus on either an area like Asia or the Middle East, or like I did Europe, or you could focus on doing more political theory heavy courses or security studies heavy courses. So there's definitely lots of options for students who have diverse interests. So I think that that's definitely a good point. However, I think that a lot of the mandatory courses that you have to do to complete the degree are very repetitive. Now this has positive and negatives, obviously. It's good to do the same thing again and again in a way because it means that you can get very good at doing it. But it can also be a little bit boring, I'm not going to lie. For me personally, I don't think that this reflects the world of international politics or international relations. I've spoken about this before in other videos as well. So yeah, I would say that overall it can be a bit boring in that regard. However, I think that in general the content is quite interesting. I would have liked to see more like current events content. The classes that I probably looked at the most current affairs and world issues that are affecting the world now are actually security studies courses. The rest of my courses, as I said, focused a lot more on theory, and sometimes we looked at current events and things that were actually happening, but most of the time it was looking at theorists and their ideas. I think though, because you have this range of choices that you can make and you have the opportunity to decide for yourself what you want to do, that overall the content is okay. I say there's probably a 3.75 out of 5, sorry. Yeah, I would say it's probably a 3.75 out of 5. That's just based on my preference. So if you're really into political theory, it would probably be a 5 out of 5. Next, I am going to talk about the quality of teachers, and I think that this is what sets the ANU apart. Now, I'm not saying that every teacher I've had is perfect, but overall, the teachers who I have had are wonderful researchers at the head of their field in whatever their field is. Generally, they were pretty good educators, and also they were just nice people. I haven't had one teacher who was like, oh my god, what a dickhead. So yeah, all of my teachers, I would say, were really nice, were really knowledgeable, and they were definitely good at sharing their knowledge with us. There are a few teachers who didn't necessarily understand students, like what students have time to do. I had one class where we had 700 pages of reading a week to do, about really boring things too. So that teacher was definitely a little bit out of touch with reality, but apart from that, yeah, I would say that in general, the teaching staff are wonderful. You have the opportunity to work as research assistants, to intern with different teachers, to build really genuine personal relationships with your teachers and your tutors. So yeah, I would say that teaching staff is probably a 4.9 out of 5. Some teachers have some issues with like access and inclusion, or with just sort of making assessments accessible to people, or for example, we had a lot of problems with Proctorio, which I know was a university-wide sort of problem in Australia. It's the like spyware software to spy on students as they're doing their exams, but overall that was solved. So I would say, yeah, in general, 4.9 out of 5. Moving on, I'm going to talk about the opportunities for students after they do a Bachelor of International Relations at the ANU, and why I think that this is possibly the most important thing about the BIR. Now, at the ANU, you have this really unique opportunity to connect with a lot of the really influential people in politics and media and government, and also the private sector, as you're here in Canberra, with access to all of them. But I think as well as that, the ANU is really good at promoting opportunities to do these things. And that's not just with like official ANU events, that's also with the clubs at ANU. You're able to go and meet with diplomats, meet with government officials, meet with, you know, people who are already working in whatever industry you're interested in. And I know that a lot of universities do this. I know this isn't unique to the ANU, but I think that the ANU's environment that it's in is pretty unique. The fact that you're able to at times come in contact with some of the most influential decision makers in Australia means that by the time you've graduated, you often have a really fantastic network to build on, to find jobs, opportunities with, you know, all of that. So I would say that for me, this is probably the biggest benefit of attending the ANU. Also internationally, you know, because it's the Australian National University, it's often a more well-known university. So I think that that's a benefit of doing the Bachelor of International Relations here for me as well. But I would say the opportunities I've had to network as part of the BIR, and as part of the societies at the ANU in general, has meant that I'm going to graduate with a really strong network of people who I can rely on and come back to if I need advice or support, and also if I'm needing some sort of guidance in the industry that I'm in, I'm also able to fall back on them as well. In general, I would say that the networking opportunities are probably a 4.5 out of 5. You know, sometimes they can be a little bit restrictive in a way because they're always places, like you always have to go places. They did do online careers fairs for a while, but they didn't really go very well. They're a bit so-so. So that's definitely something from like an accessibility standpoint or like a disability standpoint as well. But in general, I would say that the opportunities are pretty good, and especially because you have a 3 to 4 to 5 year degree to take those opportunities in, you definitely have enough time to meet the people you want to meet and talk to the influential decision makers that you want to talk to. So yeah, overall, I would say that it is a 4.5 out of 5. So that is all I've got to say for today's video. Thank you so much for listening to me as I rambled on. I'm a little bit tired, so I'm sorry if it didn't really make sense, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will insert my final rating for the Bachelor of International Relations here. And overall, I would say, yes, definitely come to the ANU if you're interested in networking, if you want to have a role in academia in the future, if you want to be supported by excellent academics, if you're really interested in current politics, current international affairs, you know, diplomacy, things that are happening today right now, this might not be the degree for you, and I might recommend doing a different degree somewhere else. But if you're interested in learning about political theory and things like that, then yeah. So it kind of balances out in a way, because you've got like the current affairs thing in the networking, but not so much in the education. And you have the theory in the education, but not so much in like the real world networking space. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys at the end of the week. Bye!